You seen the movie Ka Whawhai Tonu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in it. I was the colonizers.
Typical Ngāpuhi.
Cheers guys, welcome back to Why Should We Give a F, our pretend podcast where we talk about different topics and why we should give a F about them. Today I'm here with the big boss Shah
Kia ora.
and three special guests. Can you introduce yourselves?
I'm Anania.
I'm Zaya. Yeah, so my dad's Cook Island, my mum's Māori, European, all that. And yeah, so we're related, so you know, Ngāpuhi and all that. And I'm from here as well. Yeah, that's basically it. I've been in, you seen the movie Ka Whawhai Tonu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in it. I was the colonizers.
Typical Ngāpuhi.
Yeah. It's a fun fact. And yeah, so I'm here to talk about this. That's why I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when you say you're like used to the stuff, is that with your uncle Darius? Does he do this still, or is he washed up now? Is he?
No, he's not washed. He actually
Yeah.
no, he actually won the hospice, dancing for hospice. He became first last year.
I did
And me and
see
him,
that.
we made our own remix music
Wow.
the competition, and we watched him, and then yeah, so he won. It's pretty easy dubs. We do it all the time. So, yeah. So no, he's not washed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where you from?
Oh, true. Oh, well, everyone at this table knows me. So, yeah, true. Yeah, Tirika tōku ingoa. Yeah, I'm on Toi Mātaatua. Been part of that kaupapa for a long time. Started off as a PP pau in that kaupapa. And, yeah, and I also run our own trust here in Rotorua. And, yeah, this is my kōrero. Two way back here, from way back. So yeah, that's me.
Nice.
Cheers.
Ah, mean. It's good to have you guys.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep it real cash today, guys. It's really cool to meet you and to be here in Rotorua. For those of you who have been following us on TikTok, we're currently on tour, and we rolled into Rotorua about an hour ago, and we set up this makeshift studio right here in Mātaatua marae. And I just want to thank these amazing guests for literally rolling up, jumping on the mics and being our guests today. So I think that already is a testament to our topic for today, which is about rangatahi leadership, and why we, when I say we, rangatahi, but also us as Pākehē should give a F about our rangatahi being leaders.
So our first question for any of you three, what made you want to get involved in the kaupapa?
So I didn't actually have a choice. So was it you that reached out to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tirika actually, he knew some of us already because we grew up with him and his siblings. But he knew some of us, so me and Anania, and he reached out to ask if we would be part of it. And so that's how I got into it. I wasn't forced. I still had a choice, and I said yes because I wanted to try something new. And I think that's what rangatahi should do, is try something new. Even if they don't want to do it or they don't feel comfortable doing it, they should just try it because you never know. Could be lead to your future or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to preach, but my family's the preachers. So you got to get a lot of talking. Yeah.
For me personally, why I jumped on this kaupapa is to show my cousins and my extended whānau that for us as rangatahi, we have a future. Instead of, drugs and alcohol and abuse, there's light within all that darkness. And, because none of my parents or none of my grandparents pathed that way. So, it's up to me. And even though it's quite a heavy burden sometimes, when I look at the outcome, it's beautiful. Because it's not only for me, but it's for the generation after and the generation after, so forward. And yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think for me it was a bit of a different thing, especially from an organising and starting up, particularly our Rangatahi Leadership Council, because it was the first time Te Punariki had done something like that I didn't want it to be a dud, so I wanted to handpick some really cool rangatahi that I knew were doing some awesome mahi, but also I knew that their skills complement each other, their upbringings complemented each other, to create a real fun, but sort of supportive space for them. Probably next time we'll just open it up to the hapori whānui and see who rocks up, but for the first crack at, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like a flop. So I had picked some good rangatahi, and then these two and 5 others as well. So it was a different as an organizer for me. It was a different experience, and these fellas just sort of inspire me and inspire other rangatahi, and that's sort of my take on things.
So, guys, if you didn't know, Tirika is the founder, and the leader of his kaupapa called Te Punariki. Tirika, can you tell us a bit about it?
Te Punariki, it's sort of a little bit of a thing. It's a very whānau-based kaupapa. Pretty much what happened is that 4 different whānau came together, and they were just real hoha with a lack of opportunities out there for our rangatahi, and a lack of our pathways and stuff. And so we sort of thought, rather than just sitting there complaining the whole time, we might do something about it. And so we created Te Punariki as a response to that. And it's now 2 years old, and we sort of started off with the sort of smell of an oily rag, and just putting our own putia into it. And then it took the first big trust to believe in us, to invest in us, and then from that we've just grown, and then now we have several funding partners and several strategic partners and whānau that support our kaupapa. But the kākono was really in how can we create a better apopo for our rangatahi. And just because in our community, like many communities, our rangatahi get pretty bored in our community and get up to a lot of mischief and stuff. So we're just sort of like, okay, rather than being out there getting up to mischief, why not come and do a podcast out of marae? That sort of stuff. So kuina te kākono tērā.
And after the pohiri this afternoon, Anania, you shared a really cool kōrero about how your ropu is made up and the different roles you have within it that I've never heard of before. I think that people would be really interested to hear your guys' fresh take on leadership in your ropu.
So it was one of our first or second wānangas we had as a committee for Te Punariki rangatahi. And we were asked the question, what kind of trust would you like to be? An alternative, a traditional? And we were kind of on the fence of an alternative or a traditional. Some of us like the traditional ways, and some of us like, to be creative. And I was one who liked to be creative, but still have the power and the mana of traditional. Because that's how, most of the other, poari whakahaere, that's how they are. And so I kind of wanted to be the same, but with our touch. And so I looked at our marae and I thought, you know what? Let's go with a marae-based committee.
That's so cool.
And so we have 3 pau. Te pau kaiapa, which is the first pau you'd normally see at a marae. Te pau tokomanoa, which is the pau in the middle of your whare. And te pau tuarongo, which is all the way at the back. All 3 of these pau have different meaning. Our front one is the face of our community. It's the face of Te Punariki. And there's a proverb that says, te amorangi o mua, te hāpai o muri. And our trustee that's in the front, she is our amorangi. Then we come to the middle, and that is where my cousin over here comes in. He kind of makes sure that, our budgets stay within.
It's important.
He's, as I said this afternoon, they are almost the backbone of our committee. They look after us, and they make sure that we don't take our kaupapa to 100%, but to 101%.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And me, I am Te Pautuarongo, which is I am a co-leader of our rangatahi committee, and my job is just to oversee everything, to make sure that, you know, when we have rarus, that, you know, they're taken care of, because we don't want to be, you know, taking our kaupapa and, you know, our vibes to these kaupapa with, you know, a bad attitude. We want to turn the frown upside down.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my job. And yeah, so that's what we are structured from.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, what's the hardest part about taking a leadership role to use personally?
I think the hardest part, it's not really that hard, but if there were to be a hardest part, it would be getting people to listen to you, because sometimes it's not a bad thing, but we're all different in our kaupapa, as Anania said, creative. But sometimes that can mean different ideas, different opinions. And so we just basically got to work out how to listen to each other, communicate properly to each other, and make sure everyone's getting, you know, their fair share of input. And at the same time, we're listening and taking what they're saying to us, to each other. So yeah, it's not too hard, but if there was a hardest part, it would just be to remind ourselves that we are a group. It's never a one-man led mission. It's just always a group. And yeah.
And Isaiah, you talked a little bit about how you come from a whānau of pastors. Is it hard or easier coming from a whānau of leaders?
It's easier.
Mm.
Easier. Stronger, and you're more built and more confident.
Yeah.
Coming from, pastors and stuff.
That's me.
I think probably for me, it's like it's sort of the shame sort of thing. Like it's like, how do we, like a lot of our rangatahi, particularly and more so in our Mātaatua iwi, are real whakamā. And it's sort of like, how can we push them out of their comfort zones? In Te Aroha, it's a little bit different. You know, everyone sort of like often have rumbles to be in the front of your kapa and things like that, whereas in other places it might be being rumbles to be at the back sort of thing. So it's trying to, like show our rangatahi how they can sort of come out of their shell and sort of be, be at the forefront, be leaders, but likewise be okay with being at the back and supporting at the back, and just being, happy with the role that they're playing. But yeah, we always try to do it in a more sort of ngāwari way, but that's for me one of the biggest challenges of leadership is that is the whakamā that comes from being a younger rangatahi person in these sort of out the gate spaces and stuff, like, that's probably for me the big one. Yeah.
What about you? Because, you're technically still a rangatahi. What do you reckon about what's the hardest part about being a young leader?
For me personally, my tolerance.
He's the grumpy one in their team.
But I wouldn't really say it's difficult. Or from my experience, it's more being how do I say it? The nicer you be to them, the more they'll actually like come to you or like open up. That's what I've kind of learned because I'm doing good at my tolerance. I'm just saying, being real good at it. And I can kind of see a big change. Like heaps of people that wouldn't come up to me, like actually come up to me now and talk. Or like, one step ahead. But I guess it's just coming out of your shell more. That's for me personally. What about you, Nan, auntie?
I'm not recently graduated rangatahi, so I'm 31, which is but the hardest part about being a leader, reflecting on when I was a little bit younger, was I think is kind of what you're talking about, Te Reka, is the especially when you're leading your peers, it can be quite hard, the balance of humility and getting the job done, is that you being humble enough to kind of like, it really is a skill, eh? And I think, it's the whole across the board. I think it's balancing and the knowing when to be kind, knowing when to be the gentle leader, to be the leader from the back, to be the leader from the front. The hardest thing I think about being a leader is balancing and constantly staying on so that you can read what your what the people following you actually need in that moment, because they don't always need someone to do the rah rah rah, but they also don't always need someone to do the uffy uffy uffy, because you get to a point where it's like, you're right now, get back going.
That's a good point, and that like kind of explains what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Because if you had the three same leadership styles, it wouldn't go so well.
Yeah.
Because you can have like three people that's leaders and they're nice,
Yeah.
and then people are gonna take that for advantage. But if you have three main people, it's more they're gonna be scared
Go
of
the
you.
other way. Yeah. Well, that's the importance of a team too, is that they fill in the gaps or, help to balance you out.
What would you call it? Transactional leadership.
Well, sometimes you're not always in the mood to be like nice even when they need it. You're not actually, So you can hand that over to your mate who has a little bit more in the tank. So also for the audience watching, Te Puna Ariki Trust are actually our host here in Rotorua, which is really amazing to find out that they're all rangatahi. So Te Reka, he is the leader, and even though he is, how old are you?
23.
Uncle? 23.
Yeah.
23,
Yeah.
but the fact that it was 15, 16, 17-year-olds who said, we need this here in our community. They saw our rangatahi and what we're up to in Hawke's Bay, and they put their hand up to host us, and they actually also put the budget forward. So the marae that we're staying in, the venue that we'll be performing in, Isaiah, we're actually performing in his whānau church, which is really cool, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. This will be posted after our show, but that just, I didn't know to the full extent how much of the mahi was actually being done by rangatahi until I got here, and that's just really blowing me away. Your guys, your ability, your courage, your skill, but also the mana that your leader has given to you. I think that's really cool. Like, it's a testament to what happens when we do just hand it over to our rangatahi and let them run with it, eh?
That's right.
Yeah, they can make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, but what's it about? Oh, that's right. That's what, So, we're here doing a show about whakamomori, suicide prevention. We've been to Rotorua a few times. We've got some old connects here. So we've done a few rounds. We've been doing this mahi for 10 years now, doing these plays. We're in no way, shape or form professionals. We're just like a group of just a whānau that are passionate about this kaupapa, that love to perform. In saying that, though, I personally think that it's of high quality, this theatre production that our rangatahi have put together. And I think it's just it's really special to be back here in Te Aroha. Each time we come here, Te Aroha pack out the house, which is mean just your fellas community turn up, man. They absolutely do. And they don't even know half the kids in there. Just they got backs hard, which is mean as.
Not a question, but the reason why we, really for me, the reason why we put our hand up for you guys and that, we could be your guys' host is because, some of us on the committee, we have people that have, whakamomori themselves. And, it's, and just recently we, Te Punariki, we did Te Hikoe o Whiro. And that was to fundraise putia for one of Liam and his brother Manaki, one of his friends, who did, how do I say, to not cry,
Yeah.
And so, to see this for opportunity for us to open our doors for you guys to come back to Te Aroha, it wasn't, I can tell you this, it wasn't a no. It was a 100% big yes.
Yeah.
And so, it's almost we're thanking you guys for creating this kaupapa, because I've experienced that with my whānau. And, you know, promised myself I wouldn't cry, but yeah. So just thank you for your guys' creativity and, you know, and choosing a kaupapa that really means something to us. Because not a lot of, you know, people choose these kind of kaupapas because it's dark.
Yeah.
But, you know, where there's dark, there's always light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, it's beautiful. I wasn't gonna cry. No. But yeah, it's we talk about it's in the show. I don't want to ruin too much about the show, but it's also in my studies as well about ihi, wihi, and wana. And when we you know bring together two groups of rangatahi doing amazing things, your ihi and you know his wihi will mix together. And it will create a wānanga, which is the wana, and it will become a fire that is unstoppable. Because what you guys are doing here is amazing. It really is amazing. I believe what our rangatahi doing back home is amazing too. But just imagine how unstoppable you guys would be by connecting with each other, feeding off each other's energies, inspiring each other. And then as you kind of, you know, get older too and create your own kaupapa, you've got all these links around the country with other leaders who will then be running their own kaupapa too. So it's pretty powerful stuff, and it's cool as that we're pretty much, you guys are leading this and we're just, you know, paying the bills. We're just booking the vans and getting you fellas together. So yeah, excited as about tomorrow, about our time together. It's going to be mean.
Well, going way off topic and back to the first one. Back to the first topic. What would you say to rangatahi thinking about getting involved in the leadership programs?
For me personally, because I'm been in high school my last year, I myself have seen a lot of change in each year that comes into school with rangatahi, and most of the time I've seen it's not too great in terms of attitude and wanting to do things for a good purpose. It's kind of more of we're heading down a road where they start to slack or they don't want to strive, and that's what I've noticed. So what I'd say to rangatahi that might be interested in leadership roles like this is just try it, just do it. For some people it's about being bothered, because a lot of rangatahi today, they just can't be bothered, or they come into class, like I said, with the attitude where they don't really come to school to actually do work. They just come to school because they have to.
Yeah.
And there's
They
a
don't give a
difference.
F.
And they don't give a F. And we have to give.
I'm on that one.
Yeah, so I'd say, you know, if you're thinking about trying a leadership course, program, whatever it is, anything that has to do with being an example to others, just do it. Just do it, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's that. What's that one? It's like be a koha, not a hoha. That's probably my biggest thing for rangatahi, wanting to try leadership sort of stuff. And I ordinarily, especially when we go out and do kaupapa and wānana and stuff, I always like to, and we always like to target our rangatahi who don't necessarily gravitate to that sort of stuff, to actually pull them over. The council always talks about te aka taiapa and te aka matua, which are like, it's sort of that the straight and narrow versus being on sort of a not a good path sort of thing. And it's like, how do we get them in there? But at the same time, it's like, if you're keen to be in that space, be a koha to that space. Don't just rock up and be a hoha about the dramas and all that sort of thing. Just bring the drama and not much else sort of thing. That's like that sort of stuff. And I've also really enjoyed about sort of some of the wānana we've been a part of, where we've had 5 really passionate rangatahi. For me, that for me makes a huge difference over having 100 non-involved or non-passionate people or rangatahi, whoever it might be. And so we've always taken that approach of they can go out and they can be. We know that they're going to be change makers, not just sort of spot fillers. That's sort of what we've always looked at. And so, that's probably one thing I would say to our rangatahi is just really think about what koha you can give to a space or a kaupapa or because every single person has something to
Yeah.
give.
Yeah.
You know, a skill or a whakaaro or a time or whatever it might be. So yeah, that's probably my one.
Yeah.
For me, I go back to Fina Cooper's. When she spoke for the land wars, what she spoke of is that, protect what our children hear and see, because we carve the next New Zealand, and the next New Zealand is our rangatahi. And so for me, what I would say to our rangatahi is, if if your ears haven't been, looked after, if your eyes have seen some bad things, leave that in the past, because we are the past, the present, and the future. But, to create a future, we've got to carve the next New Zealand, the next Aotearoa. And yeah, that's what I would say to our rangatahi.
Me, Māori Martin Luther King. Now, how would you want to be remembered as as a leader? The kōrero, the angry one?
For me, myself, being remembered I just want to be remembered as someone who you can think back and you'll be like, oh, I remember that person just from this one thing they did, but it was so good, or they left such a good impression that I've just remembered them for that one thing. Sometimes it's just going past somebody and saying hi and greeting them. To some people, that can mean a lot to them, and a lot of people don't realize that, and they'll remember that forever, or on their journey, they'll always think, I want to be like that person that makes you feel welcome, or that makes you feel better about yourself. And it never has to be a big or hard thing. It can be something as simple as saying hello to someone, asking someone a question, stuff like that. Just being bothered, putting yourself out there.
Me.
For me, how I'd like to be remembered, King Anania. For me, I'd like to be remembered as someone that gave resources to our iwi, taught us right from wrong. I just want to be remembered as somebody that gave the all to our community and, didn't want anything back. As I say, give back and, don't think you're going to, get stuff back. Just give to the community. And yeah, that's how I'd like to be remembered as.
Me.
Yeah, this is probably a bit of a funny one for me, just because it's quite a big pātai we sort of have to ask ourselves in leadership, and I think especially for me, like where I'm at in my journey, the legacy I sort of want to leave is that our rangatahi and the younger generation should always challenge the status quo. We shouldn't always have to let others tell us what we're up to and what we're doing, because actually I've seen and I've experienced and I've actually seen across all of our different spaces and stuff that rangatahi are a really powerful force, especially our rangatahi of today as well. Like, you sort of sit with some of our rangatahi and it's like, mean, like mean kōrero, like that sort of stuff. And it's like, bring that to the table, and that's sort of the legacy I want to sort of be, remembered as someone that removed barriers for people to enter into the rangatira space sort of thing. Like that's sort of at the moment what I want to be remembered for. But yeah, Mātaatua, I think.
Okay, for our last question, why should we give a F about a rangatahi leadership program?
I'd say it's because we all benefit from it.
Because we are the past, the present, and the future.
Master Uge once.
Yeah. I think for us as rangatahi, why should we give a F? And for all of our pakeke, well, without us there is no tomorrow. That's all that there is to it. Without actually investing in our popo, we don't actually have in our popo. So yeah, that's the whakaaro.
Main.
Why should we? I think we should give a F about rangatahi leadership development programs in Aotearoa because the potential. There is so much leadership potential in our rangatahi that the worst possible thing that could happen is that potential goes untouched. And they grow into kuia and karaua and they never got their time to shine or their time to make a real difference, to carve out these new paths. It's just such a missed opportunity, and it's through these kaupapa, through these programs, that you pluck out these young people that might not have had a chance to kind of grow that side of them. But also going back to the when we have these development programs, is that creates opportunity to collaborate too. It's hard to collaborate when our rangatahi are all in silos, when they're all doing their own thing, but when they're together as a rōpū, they're able to learn off each other, be inspired by each other, and then also collaborate with each other too. Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
I forgot how it goes, but like you said, the ihi wihi mana. I forgot how it goes, but
Are you going to sing that song? Are you about to sing a song?
Nah.
Oh.
nah. Isn't it? I'll make my own quote up real quick.
Yeah, go hard.
With wihi comes wana. Yeah.
It does have to be in English too, by the way. Sorry, so PJ usually interviews in Te Reo Māori, but I'll get left in the dust. So yeah, it could be in Te Reo Māori if you want.
Oh, what was my question again? I'm having like a snorty the way at the moment. Eh?
Yeah, it's been a long ride. Why should Rangatahi give an F about what's it called, leadership development programs?
Because we are the leaders of tomorrow, and without leaders, there's only slaves. Yeah.
I feel like that would have sounded better in Te Reo Māori.
Preach. Maybe sheep.
Yeah.
Be the black sheep, not the white.
Yes, I feel like Te Reo Māori would have softened that and it would have been a lot bit. But no, that's mean as. Normally we do, is this where we do our biscuits?
We normally do a biscuit rating segment, but we're in the marae.
Yeah.
So we're rating white Māori.
Yeah, nice.
We usually do the taste, the texture. What's the next one?
You don't have to do all of them. It's just
Taste, texture, and appearance. So we gotta look at
So
it.
this is tap water that's come from Mātaatua marae that we're rating right now.
Is it why Māori? Is it why Tuhoi or why
Take a little
Arawa?
bit in there too. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I've already drunken some unconsciously, but now intentionally looking at it, looks like water to me. No, but it does. It looks pretty clear, like not meaning to dog on my marae, but we can't drink out of the tap there, so it's pretty.
Mine is taste it. Where'd you get it from? Mātaatua.
Mātaatua marae.
Oh, might come out Tuhoi.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty good tap water. You got a underground filter here or something?
Do again.
Do we have to rate it out of 5?
Oh, we got no.
We normally do at the end of it. We have a cup of tea together, and then we rate the biscuits. That's our little bit that we do.
But we're in the marae. There's rules are rules.
Yeah, rules.
The long day, that was mean, and man, huh? Oh, any final words? Any Martin Luther King quotes left?
No, I just wanted to thank you, fellas. Thank yous for this space and the opportunity to collab and stuff like that. And I just wanted to mihi to you, fellas. And I'm glad you enjoyed. This has come all the way from a spring up the from the maunga, right up the top of the maunga, and it comes down here, down a pristine awa here, Utahina, don't fact check that, and, right here to our tap. So yeah, kia ora, ngā mihi.
We do also have new merch that literally just got printed 3 days ago. But we didn't know, like I say, this was a makeshift podcast, but if you give us your sizes, we'll ship you some merch. So on the front it says Amplifying Rangatahi Voice, and on the back it says Pakaru Pānui. So we've our rangatahi have
Got my good part.
designed this, and we've screen printed it ourselves too. It was established in 2023 after the cyclone happened in our community. So Pakaru Pānui, breaking news, rangatahi news, what was going on with our rangatahi during the time, being on the ground, hearing all our rangatahi voices out there that were not being heard.
Me and kōrero tonight te whānau. We'd like to thank you again. We'll catch you up next time on Why Should We Give a
Ka kite.